Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today it finally happened. Bandai is no longer looking at us like the weird kid in the corner eating glue. He has given us more red-purple Chaosgallantmon Support. Even though it's not directly Chaosgallantmon Support, we're going to call it Chaosgallantmon Support because it's red-purple, and it's playable, and the effects are actually really good for the deck. So let's take a look at the cards. So, starting with Guilmon X Antibody. This is going to be a rare. It is red-purple, evos for 1 on a level 2, or 0 on Guilmon and Gigimon. This is actually super fantastic because we can use the purple Gigimon egg that I really like to use for Chaosgallantmon because it brings us up to a 14k body. So that's going to be wonderful for us. It says, on play and when digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name and 1 X antibody among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. The on-play portion of this card is what makes me really happy. This is not a 4-cost rookie, this is a 3-cost rookie, and what that means is that now we have a dedicated searcher for purple Chaosgallantmon, because this just says Gallantmon in its name, Growlmon in its name. You can grab Growlmon X, you can grab Chaosgallantmon, you can grab your Megidramons, as long as it's not EX2, and that's really great for us. I mean, that is a core piece we've been missing. It feels like for a while. I mean, you could run the red Guilmon from EX2, I believe, that can technically grab those, but it's not purple, and that kind of limits what you could do in purple base with Chaosgallantmon. So that's great. And the inheritable says your turn once per turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, you gain a memory. Obviously, super synergistic with the default Gallantmon line. All that they're about is deleting things. But also, this works great with Chaosgallantmon and Megidramon. Both of those cards want to delete things at different thresholds. They are technically worse at it than Gallantmon. I mean, Chaosgallantmon's going to be trying to hit a level 5 or lower, and Megidramon is typically going to be looking at a 10k or lower, unless this comes out when the new Megidramon Ace is out, which we'll talk about in a second as well. So overall, this card does great things for Chaosgallantmon. We finally have a rookie that actually does something. I think every other purple Guilmon we have to run does not have an inheritable, so now we can move away from doing purple jank pile and actually have like a dedicated tribal deck. So super exciting there. Then we have Growlmon X. This is 3 to Evo on a red or purple level 3, and this digivolves on Growlmon for 0. The really important thing to note here too is that this is not just 2 on a Guilmon. This is just 3 on everything other than Growlmon where it is 0. So when digivolving, you're going to draw 1 and trash 1 card in your hand. We can see now, obviously, why this costs 2 on everything, I think. They don't want another repeat of like the Goblymon situation with Protoform, where you just Protoform into this for 1, and then you're drawing 1, trashing 1, and gaining way too many resources way too easily. Then if Growlmon or X antibodies in this card's Digivolution cards, you gain on deletion. You may play 1 card with Guilmon in its name from your trash without paying the cost until the end of your opponent's turn. So what I really like about this card is assuming we're just going to, in this magical world that we're talking about with Chaosgallantmon, we're going to assume this comes out after December when we get our Megidramon Ace. This enables you to do some really silly things with Calamon and Megidramon Ace. You can promote, get into this some way or another, and then go into your level 5, potentially with the EX3 WarGrowlmon that lets you mill out and then play a Guilmon. You now have gone 1 wide with the Guilmon, and the WarGrowlmon is threatening to go and float into another body, or if they swing, you're going to get to Megidramon Ace, which also on deletion will float into something. So lots of float potential here, and the inheritable is the same thing as the Guilmon. So if you have both of these X antibodies in your stack when you go into Chaosgallantmon, you can actually get into it for 2 instead of 4, and that's not assuming we're doing any other rookie shenanigans that net us additional value. So both these cards are really fantastic for Chaosgallantmon Tribal, and I just had a couple ideas of cards that immediately I think synergize with this, especially with some of the BT19 cards that we've seen. So I want to go over those really quick now that we've seen what these cards do. Naturally, I recorded this video and then they showed us WarGrowlmon X antibody, even more support for this deck, so let's go over this as well. It is a common in EX8. It's going to digivolve on WarGrowlmon for a cost of 1. When digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't be returned to the hand or deck, and it gets 3k DP. Then if WarGrowlmon or X antibodies in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10k DP or less, and it has the inheritable of security attack +1. We're going to talk about later in the video, because I'm going to use the same video from before this was revealed. I talk about using Chimeramon as a possible Digimon in Chaosgallantmon in EX8. This just replaces the need for that. This is the new red-purple level 5 that I'd be running in that slot. It pops at 10k with Megidramon Ace in the stack. This is going to be hitting a 15k. Not being able to be bounced to hand or deck is insane. It means it has to be deleted, which means that Growlmon X antibodies effect to float into a Guilmon has to be triggered if they want to remove this. Otherwise, you're threatening to ace into the Megidramon, or you're going to be able to get into the Chaosgallantmon, hopefully in a perfect world with the Calamon on the board, and then be able to get into your Chaosgallantmon, pop the Calamon, you have security attack +1, and you're just on your way to shenanigans. So great last piece of support for Chaosgallantmon, and we can look at the rest of the cards that I'm thinking about running with Chaosgallantmon in EX8. So in not so specific of an order, what I am really paying attention to with this new Chaosgallantmon is, so when we play Chaosgallantmon, what are we actually trying to abuse here? Because this is a BT5 card, and in order to actually maximize its potential, we need to look at its strengths and kind of identify a theme or the strong suit of the deck. So this Digimon lets you delete your other Digimon on Evo, and then play out another Digimon when one of your Digimon is deleted on your turn. So what we want to try and be abusing is our ability to play back bodies and our ability to pop bodies at the same time. So we already know, because we can delete a level 5 or lower, that this is probably not going to resolve. So what we're trying to maximize here is our ability to delete our own bodies and bring them back. And a really interesting card that has come out in BT19, or will be out by the time we get the X antibody support, is Calamon. So this card, if you haven't been paying attention to it, is another card I've been really excited for, because it says security. You may play one Digimon with 2k DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. On main, you can suspend this Digimon so that one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon from your hand with the Evo cost reduced by 2. So that's also really strong. All turns, you can't attack or block. That's fine. We don't care about that. On deletion, place this card as your top security card. So now we're thinking here. We have the ability to delete a Digimon. Because Chaosgallantmon doesn't specify when one of your purple Digimon is deleted. We can delete a Digimon to play back a level 3 purple Digimon from our trash. Okay, so now we have some thoughts. If we can start recycling this Calamon and deleting it, we can actually start abusing its on deletion effect to place this in our security and then get a rookie back. So what is going to help us do that? Well, EX3 WarGrowlmon, I think, is a really good option here in this deck, because this is going to put cards in your trash with the mill effect. It's going to let you play a Guilmon from the trash, or a Takato if you need to set it up. And then if you have the Growlmon X in the stack, you are, again, threatening to float this into a Guilmon or Megidramon Ace on top of this. So this is probably going to be my go-to level 5. Another interesting card to think about here is the Black WarGrowlmon from BT5. Digiburst 3 feels really bad, kind of with the current purple base that we have, because you don't really want Guilmon X or Growlmon X, the old ones, in this stack, because you can, it just doesn't do a lot for you. But now with the new cards that also gain you memory, this kind of becomes good again. And with the Calamon and the new memory setter Takato that's going to set you to 3 and give you raid, it's totally a possible play to have Chaosgallantmon on board. You get set to 3. We're going to throw down the Calamon as long as we have Black WarGrowlmon in our stack. You swing with the Chaosgallantmon. Let's say you have the EX3 Growlmon in your stack that gets security attack 1 when you delete something. You can sack your Calamon, put this in security, Chaosgallantmon triggers, you play back another level 3, and then you sack that level 3, like this BT5 Guilmon, to unsuspend. And now you're swinging 2 checks, unsuspended, at 14k with the Guilmon Egg, and you're going to gain a memory on the play because of the Guilmon from BT5. And that actually sounds extremely functional for a kind of old, defunct BT5 boss monster, and I'm super down for it. I'm sure there's other ways that you can manipulate this Calamon too to get a bunch of value out of it. I'm also thinking about Chimeramon with this deck, just because Calamon is basically a free body to delete as long as you have a memory setter. You could potentially promote like a Growlmon, go into Growlmon X, get your float effect, and then if you have 3 memory, you can just hard play this Calamon, suspend it to Evo into this for 2, and then pop the Calamon, put it in security, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. That's also a really strong play, especially if they only have 1 body on the board. Again, obviously the Megidramon Ace, if you don't know what it does, you're going to delete 11k or less on play when Digivolving, and if this would leave the battle area, you play out the Guilmon from underneath it, or from your trash, in order to put this as the bottom, and then you don't trigger overflow, and you have a stack with this inheritable. It's going to add 5,000 of DP-based deletion effects. I could see a world where you sub this out for like the promo Skullgreymon, or some other red-purple card with a DP-based deletion effect like Soul Lugermon, because you're going to be discounting the Evo cost with Calamon anyways. Or potentially with the Guilmon X and Growlmon X inheritables, it's also possible that you could do like the Soul Lugermon to pop something with 6k or less and actually wind up deleting something 11k or less and then knitting 2 memory back. So it's actually a free play if you Evo into it with the Calamon. Again, lots of really cool things you can do. And it just makes me think that Chaosgallantmon is a perfect fit in this like self-delete tribal deck that's starting to brew here. So we're going to call Guilmon X, Growlmon X, indirect support for Chaosgallantmon. Also, I just want to point out, security attack +1, that could go really hard. It kind of substitutes the need for this unsuspend trigger when you're going to swing 3 checks in with the Chimeramon in your stack. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about these 2 cards. Are you excited to play them in Gallantmon, Megidramon, Chaosgallantmon? I mean, what are you going to do with them? I think they're really flexible, and I'm super excited to be able to play them, test them, and see what works best. I think overall, I'm thinking that it's probably not going to make this meta. There's no way this becomes meta. There's too many bounce effects. This boss monster itself is way too vulnerable as a whole, but I think it brings it to a level where you can now play Tribal Chaosgallantmon and not feel like you're just playing a joke deck. I mean, it's really going to feel probably on par with like the super optimized X antibody protoforms like BT17 version of the deck that I'm running, or a little bit better. So I'm excited for that. So again, let me know what you guys are going to do with these new cards in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong and Big Z11 who make videos like this possible.